Do PONG to the immersive world, the secret evolution of video games. How video games were invented, from the first game to the current online ones. Discover this fascinating story, game lovers. Before we begin, please like, share, subscribe to the channel, and support my work using the channel links. This helps me continue bringing these fascinating stories to you. Now, take a deep breath because what you are about to hear is a true journey through time. The secret history of video games. It all started in the 1950s, when computers occupied entire rooms and no one imagined using them for fun. But a young engineer named William Higginbotham decided to create something different, a simple game called Tennis for Two, displayed on an oscilloscope. It was so much fun that huge lines formed just to play for a few seconds. Little did anyone know that green screen would be the beginning of a worldwide revolution. Years later, in 1972, PONG emerged, created by Nolan Bushnell, founder of Atari. It looked like just two lines and a square, but it was like lighting a match in a powder keg. The world discovered that gaming was addictive. Arcades began to appear, places where young people spent hours and coins trying to beat records. Fun fact, some arcades were so popular that they wore out their machines from so much use. In the 1980s, video games nearly died. The market went into crisis, bad games flooded the shelves, and many believed it was the end. Until a Japanese company changed everything, Nintendo. They launched the NES and introduced the world to characters that would never be forgotten: Mario, Zelda, Donkey Kong. These games had soul, story, and created generations of fans. But while Japan shone, the United States was preparing another attack: Sega. The most famous rivalry in history was born, Mario vs. Sonic, and with it came the evolution of graphics, speed, and soundtracks. The 16-bit era arrived, and video games became more vibrant, colorful, and exciting. In the 1990s, the world entered the 3D era. Sony launched the PlayStation, Nintendo introduced the Nintendo 64, and video games became interactive cinema. Polygons replaced pixels, and games began to tell complex stories. Fun fact, many programmers created impossible techniques just to make consoles do things beyond their normal capacity. The 2000s accelerated everything. The Xbox arrived, with its Xbox Live, and the world discovered online gaming. Now people from different countries could compete and form teams. For the first time, gaming ceased to be solitary and became global. Then came another revolution, the Nintendo Wii, which turned movement into gameplay. Next, Kinect, PlayStation Move, and everyone discovered that the body could also play. But the biggest shift was yet to come. Video games would no longer be just entertainment. They would be art, realistic graphics, vast worlds, emotional stories. Games like The Last of Us, GTA, Halo, God of War, Zelda, Breath of the Wild showed that video games could also make adults cry, reflect, and live epic adventures. Today, we are in the era of total immersion. VR, augmented reality, open worlds with artificial intelligence, characters that learn from the player. And a little-known fact, there are modern games with more lines of code than some NASA space programs. The complexity is such that a game can take 7, 10, or even 15 years to complete. Another fun fact, the video game industry is already larger than the combined film and music industries. Yes, it is the largest entertainment industry on the planet, and it all started with a little white square bouncing on the screen. Today, video games are not just fun. They are professional sports, careers, therapeutic treatment, education, art, and advanced technology. What was once just a pastime has become a universal language. And to think it all started with two little lines and a dot on a screen. Now, please like, share, subscribe, and support the channel using the links. This helps a lot and values my work to continue bringing stories like this to you.